Now I want to link my architectural model and do some HVAC modeling. I will go to Insert tab and click Link Revit and browse to where I have my architectural model. Let's assume this is the model we need to link, and I will leave it in the description below. I click Open. Now I have it linked, and if I double click here, I have my level 0 and level 1 in good position, aligned to the architectural levels. I can click AL and lower my level 1 a little bit to be with the second floor. Now I will scroll to 0 ceiling MEP. Now I can see the ceiling tiles. To insert an air terminal, I will click AT and I will search for a supply diffuser. Now I can't see it because the elevation from level is 0. I can't see it. It's on the floor. What I'm gonna do is I will double click on all, I can make a section anywhere, escape, double click here, and I wanna measure the space. I click here, align dimension, and I want to measure the space from level 0 to level 1 to this ceiling, because I want to place my diffuser over this ceiling. I click from here to here is 2642. I want to memorize this number. I go back to ceiling MEP. I click AT for air terminal, and from level 0 I need the elevation to be 26. I forgot, so I will 2642. 2642. I will go here, and now I can see my diffuser. I place it here. So now, while developing Revit realized that this is not a very efficient method. So we have another type of families that are called hosted families. Hosted families are they just show when we insert them to a host. So the host here is our ceiling. So if I place a hosted diffuser, it will just attach to the ceiling and it will adjust its elevation. So the preloaded families with Revit, they don't have a hosted family. So I'm going to insert load family to find a hosted family. I'll go to my computer, C, program data. Sometimes it's hidden, so you need to unhide it. I'll scroll to Autodesk, RVT 2024 or your version, libraries, English, US. I will search for mechanical, MEP, airside components, air terminals, and I need to find a hosted diffuser. So this one, M supply diffuser square hosted. If you find this shape, this rectangle, this square, so this is a hosted family. I click OK. And if I click CM, now I have my hosted diffuser. If you notice, if I place it anywhere here, it will not show. It will give me this sign because it just needs a ceiling to be assigned to be attached to. Also, if it's placed on vertical face, it will not be showing. It will not show here. It needs a vertical face, but in our case, we need to place it on face. And this diffuser is small, so I will search for something big. I want it 600 by 600, and I can click here. It will attach itself to the ceiling. Now, if I want to delete this section, hit delete and create another section and cut from here to here and double click. I can see both my diffusers are attached to the ceiling. So these are two methods of dealing with families, hosted families and non-hosted families. Also, if I go to level 0 MEP and I click load family, and instead of air terminal, I will go to plumbing. I press P, plumbing, MEP, fixtures, lavatories, and if I click this one or this one, it has the same shape, the same cube, so it's a hosted family. I hit open, so I click CM. I can't place it anywhere, so I place it on vertical face. I click here, so it only shows if I am attaching it to a wall. So this is also hosted, but it's hosted to a wall. So let's delete it and go back to zero ceiling MEP and close unused tabs and delete this section. And now I want to click ME for mechanical equipment, and I search for a fan coil unit. I search, now I found a fan coil unit. I can't see it because also it has a 0 elevation. I want to give it 3200 elevation and place it here. If I hit the space, it will rotate. So I want it to be maybe here. If I click on it and then rotate, because I want this out to be the other direction, I hit the space. Also, I can rotate it and I can drag it to be here. And this is how we place our mechanical equipment. I click here and then I click on this sign, create duct, and create a big duct. It goes all the way to here. Also, I can move this one to be here, and then CS for create similar, place on face, and I can place it here. And I click on this duct and CS for create similar, and I can create some small duct in here, and I click on this duct and right click on this little square, draw flex duct, and I connect it to this diffuser. I don't like that it's too big, but we are going to do sizing. I click here on this duct, CS for create similar, and I create one here, hit one escape, so I'm still in the duct command, and I create one here. I hit two escapes, so I get out of the duct. I click here and right click again and draw flex duct, and I want to do the same in here, right click and draw flex duct. Next step is I will click on this duct, cap open ends. Now I want to do sizing for my duct. So to do sizing, I need to split this duct into 3 segments, SL, and I want to place a split here and a split here, and I just hover over this duct and I hit tab, and then I click, and I want to go to duct and pipe sizing. It will ask me the sizing method, velocity or friction or equal friction. I'll leave it at velocity, and I will leave the velocity to 5.1 meter per second. And also there is 2 options here, restrict height and restrict width, because all of our projects will be restricted by the ceiling height. We are not free to have any duct height, but at this time I will just ignore these 2. I'll click OK, and Revit has done the duct sizing for me. And for the CFM, I can click here. I can adjust the CFM for each diffuser. Here for the flow, I can input the flow in here. There is another method of creating duct systems. which is allowing Revit to draw the duct for us. If I click here and CS for create similar, and I place one diffuser here, one diffuser here, and one diffuser here, I click, I move it, so it's aligned with the architectural ceiling, the reflected ceiling. And I can also click on this equipment and click CS for create similar, and I put it here. Before asking Revit to draw the duct layout for us, I need to create a system. Now, how do I create a system? I click here, and on duct create system, I click here, and I can give it any name. I will leave this default name, and I will check open in system editor. I click OK, and I can add also the system. It's checked for me, so I can add this one and add this one, and I can click here on select equipment. I select this equipment, finish editing system. Now I have the system. If I hover over any diffuser and click tab, it will give me this dashed rectangle, which means it all is one system. If I click here, I have this tab which says generate layout. I click, and Revit will give me some suggestions. If I click here, it has lots of suggestions. I made a problem, I made a mistake, which is the supply is on the wrong side. So I'll click X on to cancel layout, and I click here, and I want to click space, so the out is from this side, so Revit doesn't need to go to unnecessary long path. So I hover over this diffuser and click tab. I click here, generate layout. I can click on this arrows for next solutions. So this one looks good. So I have this orange line, which means there is this connection here. So I should solve it. I can click on settings, and I can give it the duct type. I can give it an offset of 3200, so it's the same like the equipment. Here 3200. Maximum flex duct length, I can give it anything here, maybe 1800. I click OK. Then I click finish layout. It comes with lots of warnings because it looks disconnected. So if I click my duct and any other component, I hold press and select this. I can either click here or click BX. I can't see my selection box, so I go to I click VV, annotation categories. I search for box and I check selection box. So now I can see it. So here is the disconnection. I need to align this duct, this equipment to the duct. How to do it? I will create a section from here and double click. I need it to be fine. So the problem here is that Revit doesn't have space to draw this elbow and another elbow, so that's why it's not connected. I click on this elbow and delete it. AL for align, and I want to click here, then I hit tab. I want to Control Z. I can just draw DL for detail line. AL for align. This one, then So somehow we need to align this AL, this one, and this one. Now I can reconnect it. I look at it in the 3D. So now it looks good. But I don't like this method. I like to draw the duct by myself.